Hello, what's up, wannabe entrepreneurs? How are you? I hope you're having a lovely day. And here are we for another episode. And today I want to speak about SEO, search engine optimization. And the idea for this podcast came because I don't know if you remember, but a few episodes ago, I mentioned that I paid 150 euros to get a sponsored post, which basically means that I paid someone to write about change it in their sustainability blog, and it turned out not to have a lot of impact. I didn't notice any users and traffic coming that way, or very few at least. And yeah, I kind of complained about it in this podcast, in that episode. And then I got some feedback. I got an email from one of you, one of our wannabe entrepreneur members, and yeah, his name is Philip, and he told me that hey Tiago, you forgot about something that is very important, which is SEO. And basically, SEO is how it dictates how your website ranks on Google searches. And of course that you really want it to be well ranked, because if someone searches something about sustainability, you want, or I want in this case, that to change it, my website just pops up so that people can click, and then I get new users. And it turns out that Google really likes if other websites in the same realm, in the same scope, point to your website. So in this case, the fact that I'm paying someone, of course, Google doesn't know that I'm paying someone to write about Change It in their sustainability blog, and that blog post is actually pointing to Change It website. So this is actually validating my website in that spectrum of in that area of sustainability, and it, of course, it will help my website rank higher on Google. So yeah, I forgot to mention that, and of course that's definitely a benefit of getting these posts and get this cross posting. And it's very hard though. It's very hard to measure how many users will this post bring, because I cannot see it directly, right? So I don't see that it's coming from that website. I just see that my SEO ranking gets higher, my website gets higher ranked on Google, and I get more what they call organic traffic from searches and queries. But yeah, definitely that's a great tip. Thank you, Philip, for sharing that with me. And there's actually a tool that you can use. It's called the Google Search Console, and it's basically a tool that Google developed so that you can see how well ranked your website is on Google. And of course, I have that, and it's interesting to see that in the beginning, almost my website would almost never been shown to the users, to the Google users, and that the number of impressions has been raising and raising every day, especially because of all the blog posts I wrote for Change It, because this means that now my website has more keywords that can be matched to a query that some user is doing on Google. And if I open my tool, I can actually see which queries bring the most users and the most impressions. And the top one is Change It. If someone searches for Change It, it already has almost 2,000 impressions and 75 clicks, so quite good. Then Change It app. And then you can even see others like lithium mining CO2 emissions, because we have actually a blog post about it. So it already got shown, well, only 6 times. But also some, I can see here some queries with sustainability, or are electric cars sustainable, this kind of stuff. And I can see that I'm having a lot of impressions, but unfortunately not having a lot of clicks. I still have to really dig deep into understanding how to improve my SEO. I have to say that I really do not like this. I don't like to spend time trying to understand how to cater to Google or YouTube's algorithm, but it's definitely crucial, and I have to spend more time in that. Another thing that Philip told me, which is also very interesting, is that next time I sponsored a blog post, there's actually a better way to track which kind of users, or if the users are coming from their website, and that's by using one thing called UTM codes. And the UTM codes is kind of a model that Google uses to understand and to categorize the traffic that the website is getting. And this basically translates into parameters that you can append to the URL, and Google Analytics can understand, and then it can categorize you, and you can actually, when you open your Google Analytics, easily see which campaign each user is coming from. And yeah, so some of these parameters are, for instance, UTM source, which basically says which search engine is coming from. And there's another one called UTM medium, and this is, for instance, which kind of medium. This is the cost per click. Is it email? Where is it coming from? And there's many others that you can actually define. And then when you go to your Google Analytics and check the campaigns, you can see, okay, there's one coming from Google, another one coming from Bing, another one coming from a Gypsy Soul blog post. So it's much easier to define. And there's even a website which is kind of a UTM generator that you can basically write down everything, makes it super easy to generate these links. So next time I sponsor a blog post, I will definitely be using this. And yeah, this blog post that Philip shared with me, together with every tool that I mentioned in this episode, will be in the description. So you can just go there. I will create a little post, and it's public. You don't have to pay. You can just go and check it out. And yeah, thank you, Philip. I really appreciate getting your feedback. It's super nice because it feels that we are, we, the wannabe entrepreneurs community, are helping each other to succeed. And thank you so much for helping me. And if any one of you wants to reach out, I will also leave my email address on the description. You can just send me message and questions and so on. And I would really appreciate if you could share this podcast, your favorite episode, with a friend. You probably have a lot of entrepreneur friends. You are thinking on them right now, aren't you? So yeah, just go ahead and share it with them. That would mean the world to me and really helps me grow this podcast. This was another wannabe entrepreneur. See you tomorrow.